Jenkins.
Cramwood, what are you doing here?
Well, I heard about this neat little flying thing you have.
You mean my personal wings?
Yeah, and I thought it'd be cool if you let me fly them in honor of my new movie that just came out called Fly Guy.
Cramwood, you don't know the first thing about flying.
So what? I mean, yes, I do.
You know, it's dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, Cramwood. You could get hurt.
I'm not afraid to get hurt.
No, you'll get hurt, and I don't want that on my conscience.
Hey, Jenkins, remember the time in the 5th grade I let you borrow my go-kart?
Oh yeah, I do. And if I remember correctly, you disconnected the brakes, and I crashed into some bushes.
Oh, come on, Jenkins. That was just a friendly joke.
Well, I scraped my knee and I hurt my nose.
Exactly. So, can I use your wings?
No.
Jenkins, everybody's waiting for me to fly this thing. I'll give you $50.
No.
$550.
Put your arms through this.
Yes!
Cramwood, you understand the instructions I gave you?
No.
Oh, well, good luck.
Thanks, Jenkins. Here I go. I'm running. I'm jumping. I'm flying. Nope, I'm running. Again, I'm jumping again. I'm flying. Nope, I'm crashing. Help. I think Jenkins did that on purpose.
Did what?
Rewind the tape. Now look at the wings. They're not tilted up.
And there was no wind behind you to push you into the air.
You're right. There was no way I was going to fly. Jenkins knew I was going to crash. He knew it.
There were only two things you were going to do with those wings, Cramwood. Crash and look stupid.
That's right.
Jenkins wanted to humiliate you because he is a nasty, mean-spirited, vengeful bike shop owner and part-time wingmaker.
Let's take him to science court.
Let's.
So tell me, why did Cramwood crash?
Well, because he didn't know what he was doing. I mean, you're not going to fly very high or far with these wings anyway. They're not made for that. Cramwood just didn't know how to use them.
Well, Cramwood claims that you knew that the wings would not work.
But that's not true. There was nothing wrong with the way the wings were set up.
I'm afraid Cramwood is suing you for everything you've got, Mr. Jenkins.
Everything?
Everything.
My bike shop?
Everything.
My wings?
Everything.
This piece of dust?
Everything.
Even my...
Everything.
Okay, here goes.
That was good.
You think so?
It went further than that one.
Well, that's true. You throw one.
Tower to stenographer Fred. Tower to stenographer Fred. You're clear for takeoff. Over. Roger, Tower. This is stenographer Fred. Ready for takeoff.
Wow, Fred. That was beautiful.
Thanks.
Can you teach me how to do that?
Sure.
Great. What do I do first?
Put your hand over your mouth and talk all garbled like this. Look. Come in, Judge Stone.
Yeah, I'm here, Fred. But what I really want to learn is how to make a good paper airplane. Fred?
You didn't say over. Over.
Oh.
No! Over! Over.
I'll see you inside, Fred.
Say over!
Mr. Jenkins, isn't it true that you've spent the better part of your life planning revenge against my client because of a little go-kart incident that happened a long time ago?
No.
Just answer the question, please.
I did.
There was a problem with the design of your so-called personal wings, wasn't there, Jack?
No, there wasn't.
Isn't it true that these wings were nothing more than a deadly death trap door of death?
No, they weren't.
The wings weren't tilted up, were they?
No, but...
And there was no wind pushing Cramwood into the air. In fact, it was blowing in his face. So there was no way he was ever going to get off the ground. Isn't that right, Jack?
Well, it's my understanding that wings don't have to be tilted up in order to have lift, and that the wind actually has to pass over the wings in order to create lift.
Please, Mr. Jenkins, Aren't you tired of the lies?
Objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Savage, no more remarks like that.
Sorry, Your Honor. It kind of slipped out. Besides, I rest my case.
Fine. Ms. Crumple, call your first witness.
Dr. Bean, what is a wind tunnel?
A wind tunnel is a large tube that has an electric fan to create wind in order to test things.
Do you have one with you?
Yes, I have one set up out in the lobby.
Your Honor, I ask that we all adjourn to the lobby.
You got it. To the lobby.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask stenographer Fred to step into the wind tunnel with these wings that Dr. Bean made for this demonstration.
Into the tunnel, big fella.
Now, when the fans are turned on, they create wind, correct?
Yep.
Okay, please demonstrate.
Fred, hold the wings perfectly level. Now when I turn on the fans, stenographer Fred will feel a lot of wind, but his arms will stay steady.
Now, what would happen if Fred tipped the wings up a little bit?
His arms will pull up and he'll probably start screaming a little bit. Fred, tip the wings up, please.
His arms went up, but he's not screaming.
Oops, wait a minute.
So, what would happen if Fred tilted the wings down?
His arms will be pulled down and you'll hear him scream again.
Let's see.
Fred, tilt the wings down, please.
Thank you. You can shut the fans off now.
Your Honor, today is a great day for the Savages, me being one of them, because Miss Crimple just proved my case.
Mr. Savage, let me try to summarize the demonstration for you.
Huh?
I'm going to recap what you just saw.
Oh, okay.
Tilting a wing can certainly help to push a wing, but that's not the only thing that causes a wing to lift a plane.
Well, let me summarize something for you, Miss Crimple. What?
There is something even more important than the tilt of a wing. It's the shape of the wing.
Miss Crimple, did you forget something when you left your house this morning? Maybe, huh? Something like, perhaps, your mind?
Your Honor, perhaps Professor Parsons can explain it better. Professor Parsons, does a wing need to be tilted to lift a plane?
No, it does not. No, it does not. Well, maybe it... I take it back.
Professor!
Sorry, Judge. Just having a little fun.
But, Professor, what did Dr. Bean show us?
Well, she showed us how a wing can work. But tilting a wing is not the only way, and not the most important way, to cause it to lift.
Could you show us what you mean, Professor?
That's where I draw the line, lady. I'm kidding. I'd be glad to. Okay, look at this board lying between two tables. Just lying there doing nothing. Now, where's the air pressure pushing on the board?
It's pushing on all sides.
Oh, I know. It's pushing on all sides.
Well, that's right. It's pushing on the top, the bottom, the left, the right, all sides. Now, what if I had a magic spray that would remove the air pressure on one side of the board only, and I sprayed it on just the top of the board?
The board would float upwards.
That's correct. The board would float up because there are more forces pushing up than down.
And why is this important, Professor?
Are you kidding? You don't know?
I'm just trying to be a little dramatic.
Oh, hey, I hear ya. It's important because that's how a wing works.
You mean that's how it would work if you had a magic spray to remove the air pressure from one side of it, right?
Well, actually, I do have something, but it's not magic at all.
You're kidding.
Well, come here, I'll show you. It's called...
Oh, bad breath.
I'm sorry, I like onions and I don't brush. Actually, Mr. Savage, it's called wind.
Wind?
Wow, this is an exciting case. Let's take a break to review what's going on in the trial. J.C. Cramwood believes that Jack Jenkins purposely gave him wings that couldn't fly because the wings were not tilted upward. Jack Jenkins disagrees with Cramwood and believes his wings can fly. Cramwood just didn't know how to use them properly. Fred demonstrated that tilting a wing can help to push it, but Professor Parsons says that the most important thing is to reduce the air pressure above the wing, and that you can do it with wind. That's hard to believe. Let's head to the Science Corps laboratory to investigate how we can use wind to reduce air pressure and make something rise into the air. Wow, you We've already learned quite a bit about how wings fly. I think you're ready to get back to the courtroom and hear the rest of the trial. Professor Parsons is just about to take the stand, and if we hurry, we'll be just in time to hear his explanation.
Now, I'd like everybody to take one of these pieces of paper and hold it in front of them like this. Now blow across the top of it like this. Man, I'm not the only one with bad breath in here, I'll tell you that right now. Woo! You see, the paper goes up. The strips of paper go up because the moving air is reducing the pressure along the top surface, but not the bottom, so the paper is lifting.
So, Professor, do wings have to be tilted in order for this effect to occur?
Yes.
I heard a yes.
You heard it, Mr. Savage, because you said it.
Oh, right. It was an accident. Go ahead.
Professor, do wings have to be tilted?
No, they don't. What you do need is to have the top half of the wing curved, like this. Now, Ms. Kremple, turn the fan on, please. You see, the air going across the wing has to travel farther over the top of the wing because of the curve, so it goes faster to keep up with the rest of the air.
And as it goes faster, it wipes away air pressure from the top of the wing, and so the pressure from beneath the wing forces it up. Right, Professor?
Whoa! Yup, that's right. A wing tilted up or down can help, but as we just saw, it's the curve of a wing that is what really keeps it flying. It's the air blowing over the curve of the wing that causes lift. Now look at a jet plane. The wings are level, but the top part of the wing is curved.
But what about the wind? I thought the wind pushed the plane into the air from behind.
Oh no, Mr. Savage. In fact, the opposite is true. Planes always take off into the wind. That's to ensure that lots of wind will sweep over the wings and create lift.
Thank you, Professor.
You know, the same effect is true for water.
Planes don't fly underwater.
No, but fish do, sort of. Their fins are like wings, with water moving over them instead of air. There are other animals that have figured this out, like the prairie dog, for instance.
I love prairie dogs.
They build up the entrances to their tunnels like little volcanoes. This forces the air to travel faster over the opening, which reduces the pressure and provides ventilation into their homes.
That's wonderful, Professor, really.
How about another example?
That won't be necessary.
I was just going to say that submarines
That's fine, Professor.
work the same way.
We're covered.
Ouch. Shot down.
Wait a minute, Ms. Kremple. If Jack Jenkins' personal wings were really and truly designed correctly, Cramwood would never have crashed.
Your Honor, I'd like to call Jack Jenkins to the top of Courthouse Hill for a quick demonstration.
Okay, you heard the lady. Out. Everybody, come on. Out you go. No lollygagging or dilly-dallying. Let's go, people. Come on, move it.
Mr. Jenkins, why, if the wings were properly designed, did Cramwood crash?
Because he didn't know what he was doing.
Please, the man has feelings.
Can you show us, Mr. Jenkins, how the wings work with someone who knows what he is doing?
Sure.
What does that prove?
It proves that there's nothing wrong with the wings.
Okay, and what does that prove?
That there's something teensy-weensy bit wrong with you. Closing arguments, Mr. Savage.
Very well. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is a story about jealousy and power and revenge. And then back to jealousy. Did I mention revenge?
Yeah.
And revenge. But really, it's a story about a guy, a dream, and a horse named Hank.
Mr. Savage, I think you have the wrong story.
Oh, well, then Jenkins is guilty, and thank you very much.
Miss Kremple, can you top that?
I'll try, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, there was nothing wrong with Jack Jenkins' personal wings when J.C. Cramwood took them out for a test run. The only problem was with Cramwood. He didn't know what he was doing. But Jack Jenkins did. We now know that the wind sweeping over the top of a curved wing is what causes lift. By removing the air pressure off the top, the pressure from the bottom forces the wing up.
If you want a wing to go up in the air somehow, you gotta make the pressure on the top disappear. So get more into zip over the top, and now the pressure down below, put your plane in gear.
Let the pressure go away.
Both sides have presented some pretty convincing arguments. What do you predict the jury will say? Will they find Jack Jenkins guilty or not guilty? Here comes the jury with their verdict. Let's get back to the trial to hear what it is.
Fred to Judge Stone. Fred to Judge Stone. The jury has reached a verdict. Over. And please say over this time.
No.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Jack Jenkins, not guilty of trying to hurt Cramwood. We feel there was nothing wrong with the design of the wings, since till really isn't the only thing that makes wings work.
Thank you, jury.
In fact, the curve on top of the wing is almost like a magic spray that kind of just...
Great. Perfect. Don't ever change. Science court is adjourned.
Mr. Savage, how do you feel about losing another case?
Well, I'm disappointed, Jen, but in a case like this, there are no real winners or losers.
What about them?
Well, okay, there's real winners.
Okay, then. That's all from the Science Court courtroom. I hope you'll follow me into the lab so we can perform another experiment about air pressure. I'll see you there. Thanks for stopping by the Science Court Laboratory and investigating wings with us. I hope you'll join us soon for another Science Court exploration. But until then, remember, it's not against the law to learn.